Hey everybody, this is vlog. This is wow. I don't even know what vlog this is. Well, it's my vlog, but I don't know what number it is because I forgot to check before the recording. I usually check. I think it's vlog 27, but let me check. Yeah, it's vlog 27. Okay, good. So it was what I thought it was. Should have just went with my gut instinct there, but oh well, had to check. Anyway, it's been 4 or 5 days since the last time I did a video, which I have no memory of doing or recording. I I actually woke up the next morning and I fired up my computer and was checking some things online, and I was on Facebook, and I was scrolling down through the news feed to see if I missed anything during the night, and all of a sudden I see this. It says vlog 26, Thanksgiving and some other stuff, and I was like, I was like, what? I looked at the date and it said like it had the date on there, and it was like I did that last night. Not actually last night. Not Wednesday the 28th, but back then when I had done that other vlog. I woke up the next day and realized that I actually recorded something that was slightly coherent. My voice was really slow, so I must have taken my meds, my night meds, before I recorded it. And the one pill, it's called thiotixine. It's a sleeping med. It helps me sleep. Kind of keeps the insomnia away. Unfortunately, it has a tendency to create hypersomnia, which means sleeping too much. But anyway, it's kind of a tranquilizer. I think it's in the family of tranquilizers. So one thing it can cause is amnesia for a certain amount of time. Usually, bits of time. Since you take it at night, usually I don't remember. I mean, sometimes I remember, but I'd say more than 75% of the time I wake up the next morning not remembering that I had gone to bed. I could not bring up any memory of me, crawling into bed or getting ready for bed, or whatever else, or other evening activities I had done. Sometimes it's pretty severe because, like, I would have watched a movie and I had no idea that I watched that film. I mean, yeah, the evidence is there because usually I link to, if I'm watching a film, I link to it on Facebook and on Twitter, and to tell everybody what I'm watching. And so there's that's there, which that's actually very helpful to me because I can go back to that and be like, oh, okay, that's what I did. I don't really remember some of it, but okay, it makes somewhat sense. But sorry. Okay, the next big thing is, since my psychiatrist is retiring, I have to find a new one, because I gotta find somebody who can work with me and my medications. So, kind of in the process of that now. My dad's helping me out since he's a surgeon, so he knows some of the other docs that go to the hospital, and the work there. So, you know, he knows a guy who knows a guy, sort of thing. Might be able to get me in an early appointment with, or an earlier appointment with one of these guys or girls that psychiatrists, so I can, because that's really a big worry. Is that, oh wow, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, oh man, what am I gonna do? I can't not have certain meds, because if I don't take certain ones, I'm lost in the woods, so to speak. I'm lost and trapped in the woods. There's no way out. Um, but anyway, for my birthday, back on the 11th of this month, one of the things I got for my birthday was a Kindle Fire HD, which was a pleasant surprise, because I've been wanting an e-reader of some type, but I didn't want it to just specifically be, you know, something that was a one-trick pony. You know, I wanted it to do more than just be an e-reader, because one of the things that I liked about the Kindle Fire and the Kindle Fire HD was that it has this program on it that if you read graphic novels or comic books on it, you can read them panel by panel, or you can read them just full page by page, and you can switch in between however you want. So it's really nice because you can actually, you know, blow up a section of, you know, a panel of art of the comic, and not only does it help you, you know, read the text better, but you can see the colors are beautiful on oh man, on the HD screen. Like I'm reading I'm going through Batman Year One, and holy crap, like I've seen the book before in its physical form, and it was beautiful, but I never had the money for it before, and the Kindle edition was like, you know, it was like half the price of the paperback, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah, I like owning comics, because, you know, I like them to be something tangible, something physical that I can touch, feel, smell, you know, that sort of thing. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna try it, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted a Kindle, is because I could download not only graphic novels, but I could download serial comics or singles, like you would normally go to a comic book shop and pick up, you know, a single issue. You can actually buy single issues, and they're like $1, you know, which is actually cheaper than the comic book shops. Because most comic book shops charge you about $3.50 for a comic book. That, and they're displayed in brilliant HD. So, and I don't have to bag and board anything anymore, like I used to back in the day, back in high school. Back when there was actually comic book shops. I think that's another big thing too, is because there's no comic book shops anymore. Or if there are, they're, you know, they're not around here. I gotta drive somewhere else. But anyway, um, there's actually this one book that I've been reading furiously since I got it. Um, it's called A Different Shade of Normal by Jacob Glidewell. He he's a schizophrenic like me. We just happen to share the same first name. Um, and the book is it's very interesting because it's literally a look inside this guy's mind. He's very good at putting down on the page what is actually going on in his head. And he's not sugarcoating it, or he's not, you know, editing it, because that's one of the things in the introduction to the book is that he said that some of the sections, some of the chapters may be a little incoherent. Because he said he only edited for uh, like spelling and grammar, and then clarity. Um, but there's times when I can tell in the book certain chapters where he's either more frazzled, or he's a little bit more, you know, he's writing this, and as he's typing this, he's, you know, physically having to relive these horrifying things, some of these hallucinations and stuff that he describes in his book. And I think, because I've read other bits of books and other articles about schizophrenia, and none of them ever really tell me anything more than I already know. It's like I live with this every day. This article isn't telling me anything new. So what could be better than a book written by a schizophrenic who tells me what they see, you know? Because there are no two schizophrenics that are the same. It's a very personal illness, because it affects each person differently. But the book's very good. It's very good. So anyone out there is listening to this who has maybe, you know, depression or anxiety disorder, or paranoia, or schizophrenia, or schizoaffective disorder, or, you know, anything like that, depressive disorder. I mean, you may not have paranoid schizophrenia, but you might be able to get something out of his book. I mean, I'm getting a different perspective, which is really nice, because I've never met another person who's been schizophrenic. So it's kind of like, okay, how does my schizophrenia compare to, say, another person's? You know, because, you know, the normal thought process for most people is, oh, they're schizophrenic, or they're paranoid schizophrenic. They must be violent, angry people, you know, who commit crimes. And that is the furthest from the truth. That's literally like a 0.5 percentage of schizophrenics on this planet are violent. And the thing is usually they're violent before they ever were diagnosed with schizophrenia or with any paranoid thoughts. They're already violent individuals. So those of us like myself, we're harmless, you know. And I'm glad that the friends that I have realize that they're not afraid of me. Um, but other than that, I got a new med that I'm taking. Instead of a med that was called, it was a med for depression called Prestige. I'm taking another med, Effexor XR, or venlafaxine is its true name, and it's supposed to help out people with major depressive disorder, which is what I have, uh, because I'm, especially recently, throughout this past month and the month before, basically the past 3 months, I've been basically every day has been downhill. Um, it just gets worse every day, but it's finally actually starting to slowly tread uphill. I'm starting to feel better about myself and situations. Um, I mean, this is pretty remarkable. I mean, last night, um, yesterday was my parents' anniversary, and they went out to a nice dinner, and I decided, instead of staying in and eating leftovers, I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go to a, restaurant that I like, and I'm gonna, sort of treat myself to what have you. So I went to this place. It's called the Sly Fox, and they consider themselves a gastro pub, which basically means that they serve a fair amount of food with good drink. They have lots of wine and liquor and beer, and that's the big thing for me, the beer on the list. Some really interesting craft brews, and they're all on tap. So that's good. And so I went out and had some delicious fish and chips and a delicious beer to go with it. And so that worked out well. So tonight though is Vito night. There's a local restaurant that's been around for over 30 years in this area called Vitos Rest, Vitos Pizza and Restaurant, and we've basically, ever since we moved here, every Thursday, because Thursday is the day my dad he only has half a day. He has the afternoons off on Thursdays. So we would go out to eat on Thursday nights. So basically, every Thursday for the last 25 years, we've gone to Vito's to eat dinner. So we're definitely one of the regulars. And when he moved his business and built a entirely new building and everything, I remember we all joked that, oh, we spent so much money here, we probably own, how we own that section of that room, we own those chairs over there, we own that booth, we own that section of the bar, jokingly, of course, but it is it's one of the few places I can go and feel comfortable. But even there, I can feel anxious and paranoid. Even there, a place that I'm so very familiar with, and that I should normally feel safe in. Sometimes it doesn't really matter where I am. If my symptoms start cropping up, That's just what they do. And that's why I always carry around with me an emergency ration, so to speak, of Xanax. So if I start having an anxiety or panic attack, I can take some meds and hopefully, you know, calm the storm. But anyway, let's see, I think I covered everything that's been going on. So, I guess I'll talk with you guys later. You guys have a good afternoon, evening, and, well, rest of the week. See ya.